What's up, everybody? Jensen Cummings here. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Today's Best Served Podcast 389. We're going to be talking Finding Hidden Gems with Jess of Jess Foodie. This is episode 7. Wow. Episode 7 of 8 of Denver Restaurant Tik Tok Week. All this week, we are featuring content creators around the Denver area who are highlighting the food and the people behind the food, the businesses, the whole scene here. It's really exciting. We're kind of digging into understanding a platform like TikTok and really short form video when it comes to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels as well. We are going beyond just the beautiful picture of the finished food into the full depth of diversity of storytelling. And this is an important aspect that restaurants are kind of stuck with. We're kind of stuck in what got us to this point, and we need to look at what happens next. And these content creators are really creating a platform for that. We're also trying to dig into some of the misconceptions and lack of understanding of when it comes to influencer marketing, when it comes to food content. So all these content creators have been really great. As always, get into the comments. You'll be able to link to Jess's page as well as an article roundup. And Jess had a lot of great things to say about kind of the immigrant story and her ability to highlight that. So let's check that out right now. We're going to check out a clip from Jess Foodie.
Mi gente de Colorado Springs, aquí les traigo otro video, así que prepárense porque se les va a hacer agua a la boca. Miren qué tan jugosa se ve esta hamburguesa. Y las aguas frescas no pueden faltar. Este restaurante está localizado adentro del mall de Citadel y les hacen sus aguas frescas a la orden. Mire qué tan rica se ve. Bueno, déjenme introducirlos a la Super Burger, que es muy popular, tiene de todo. Su carne, queso, salchicha, jamón, tocino, piña. Y lo que me gusta más es que preparan su carne aquí en casa. Mire qué tan...
So great. Jess, let's bring you in now. Jess, so good to see you. I loved that video for a multitude of reasons. The food looked awesome, but also because it challenged me and had me recognize, like, I need to brush up on my Spanish. Our Hispanic, Latin food culture and the people behind it are so instrumental to the restaurant scene everywhere in the country and here in Denver specifically. So thank you for highlighting places that a lot of people might not see and kind of the voices that people might not see. Tell us, like, why this channel? Why did you start it? Why is it important to you?
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Well, basically, it just started off with eating, right? Like, we all want to go out and eat, and we're just tired of the same dry food, and just the same type of food. And I got myself into a little, not binging, but I like to try new things a lot. And so, with my whole situation that I also am a business owner, I'm always out and about, right? So I just started trying these new spots and I was like, how do people not know about this? And so I started doing TikToks like that. Just, hey, come and check the spot out. Next thing you know, it gets like blown up and here I am just doing it for everyone now. Not just like Hispanic, but also any type of food. Like, I love every type of food. And I think that's what I love about my culture, that I grew up also here in America, also as an immigrant, because I was stuck on Mexican food 24/7. And I love Mexican food, but like when you eat it 24/7, like, let's change it up. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, I'll take a bowl of pho or whatever else is good around the city.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I really appreciate that. And so how do you find these hidden gems, right? That's part of it. Like, you have to go a layer deeper. They're not published in the best new restaurants. They're not published in the hot restaurants at the time. They're not in the essential 38, things like that. You got to like hit the streets. So how are you finding these places? And let's go back, because now I'm sure people are hitting you up. You got to check out this place because you have a little bit of a presence now. But go back. How are you finding these places?
Well, obviously, back in the day, when I was looking for something like, let's say, a homemade menudo or a pozole, like, you really don't find authentic stuff like that nowadays, especially like around this area, right? So you have to go, like you said, you kind of have to go a little deeper. And I got myself into like these Hispanic community group chats, like on Facebook, and like everyone promotes like their small business, like, hey, I'm making burritos at home, or hey, I'm making hot dogs from this stand, can you guys come support? And I would just be like, those are the good spots, not those spots that like are hyped the best thing ever on social media, because sometimes they're not. Those are
Sure.
a lot of those places are already paid for advertisement. They got their thing going, but is it good? You know what I'm saying? So when I found these little spots, I'm like, no, these are really the good spots. These are the mom and pops type of places you want to hit up to support them. And that's how it ended up going. I just started following all those, group chats or group messages, and that's how I got on. And now when I do my videos, people will comment obviously on the
Right.
video that I upload. Hey, go check this spot out. It's my auntie's
Mhm.
food truck. I'm like, absolutely, I'm there. Like it just falls into place.
Right, and then they say, "You like that pozole? You gotta go here. You like that one? You gotta go here."
Yeah.
And it's something, my, grandmother through marriage is from Mexico City, so and growing up in Southern California was a big part of our culture, and they're competitive.
Yes. Oh my
Abuelitas and aunties, like, they're
God.
competitive,
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
when you say this is a really good pozole, for example, you're gonna get 12 other people going, "I got one better because of X, Y, and Z," right? So do you have to hit all the places then to make sure everyone's represented? How do you manage that?
I guess. I mean, honestly, I'm always down for food. That's one thing about me. I love food, and especially when you come from such a, how do I say, you're limited to the amount of foods you get. Obviously, back in the day, we didn't have that much money growing up, so we couldn't just pull up to, I don't even remember when I went to dine in with my parents at a restaurant when I was smaller. I don't remember. So now I have that, how do I tell you? It's kind of like that proud moment where I'm like, wow, like I'm sitting here with my family eating a meal at a restaurant. That's something I couldn't do when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that really just makes me proud that I'm doing this for our community, for also people to really, get big. If they want to, they can.
Yeah, it's a little like almost feels like an extension of the American dream. You're like, now we're to the point where our food is sought after,
Yeah.
right? I even think of somebody like Dana Rodriguez, who's up for a James Beard nomination, right? Jose Avila up for a James Beard nomination, cooking so many foods that are underrepresented
Exactly.
or that get appropriated constantly because people go, holy shit, Mexican food
Uh-huh.
is on another level. I thought it was just burritos and quesadillas and nachos. Like, oh
No.
man, it's one of the most diverse food cultures on the planet. So you're able to highlight a lot of that. And then to your point, the broader idea of just underrepresented communities as a whole. So now you're in a position where, to your point, you found your in through these channels and probably family connections and friends and all that to the kind of Hispanic side of it. How are you expanding now that you're trying to just view other underrepresented foods or cultures or areas of town, neighborhoods that aren't hyped up?
Yeah.
How are you finding them now?
It's so crazy to say though. It just like word of mouth, right? Where you, for example, ask on Facebook, hey, does anybody know of like some bomb tacos around Aurora or whatever?
Yeah.
And everybody tags their own favorite, because everybody has different taste buds are different. To you that might be bomb, but to me, I'm like, I already had it. It's so hard to narrow it down, but you just have to try a lot of everything. Honestly, there you can't
That's
go wrong trying food. You really can't.
volume. You got to put in the reps. You've got to go
You
and eat a lot of bowls of pho, a lot of bunchan, a lot of tacos, a lot of any of those foods that you're looking to go. And I'm interested in that because you say Aurora, or you say I want the West Highlands, or somewhere that's not Aloha, that's not Rhino, that's not Baker, like these neighborhoods that are saturated with amazing, amazing restaurants, absolutely, but they're saturated with certain types of restaurants. You're having to go find tiny little neighborhoods or a restaurant that's completely off the beaten path. How, for you as a content creator, you're having to spend time, effort, money potentially to like make it out to these places. How have you built a trust with your audience to know that when they say you're going to have to drive 25 minutes to get to a place, that you're not going to roll up and go, well, that was a mistake?
Listen, I just gotta make sure I didn't lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm being upfront, and I'm like, if I'm gonna not like it, I'm gonna tell you. Like, especially when I go to restaurants and I do these TikToks for them, I also give them a little feedback, right? Because everybody sells tacos, right, in the community. tacos, quesadillas, pozole. What makes you different, right? You have to keep that alive in them. Like, yes, how am I gonna convince you to drive all the way to Greeley to try this bomb ass sushi? How? You just gotta take my word for it, right? And I'm the one I have to sleep at night. Please trust me that I sent you to the right spot, you know? But you have to build a trust with the community, with your followers, right? At the end of the day, if they like where you're going, they're gonna go. They're
Yeah.
gonna go regardless because I I hope you trust me to go, you know, to tell you to go. So, and it's not just that, but also supporting that business, right? If you didn't like it or if you didn't like what I put specifically in the video, they have so many other options you can try. It's not just what I put. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, trust.
just try, trust me and try it.
The trust and confidence is really key, and it's a point that I want to get across for everybody, because I think restaurants still have a misconception that influencers are just looking for a free meal and they're flippantly just being like, whatever, this place is great. And that clearly you take it very, very seriously and are putting a lot of time and effort and work into it, and you're putting your name behind it.
My
Your name is on the channel.
Exactly. It's my image. Like, it's honestly, it's my comments too. Like, I went to that place and it wasn't even that good, and they're rude and this and that, and it affects me because
Mhm.
I'm the one that went and did it, not knowing that they were gonna give that service to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trusting also the business to treat them the same way they're
Yes.
treating me. Like, whatever you see them serving me is what they're gonna serve you. So that's exactly what I also try and point out when I'm doing these TikToks. Like, hey, you need to make sure like you guys are really on it because that is my face behind what I'm showing. And I want the best experience for you and your customer. That's all.
Yes, I think it's great. I think you're creating a level of accountability too on both sides of the equation, which can only help with the relationship, that there's more clear expectations, understanding, trust, confidence, all of it. Jess, love the work that you're doing, and everybody be assured that you're going to hear and see more from Jess as we go, because even just talking to you before we started the show, you have a lot to offer to this scene, and I appreciate it. So thank you for being on.
No, thank you. I appreciate you. And keep up the good work as well.
Thank you. All right, cheers. You got a lot of eating to do. I'll talk to you later.
Right. On to the next video.
Yeah. All right, well, that is it for this episode. Jess, the Jess Foodie, absolutely somebody that we need to be paying attention to. Those underserved communities, the immigrant story. Check out the article for sure, talking about what it takes to get the immigrant story out there, because sometimes that can be a huge challenge for them personally. The self-doubt, you know how much I talk about that. We need to be willing to tell our stories, and the fact that Jess is creating more opportunity for that is meaningful. Best Served Podcast 389, Finding Hidden Gems. That's it. Appreciate you all. Cheers.